must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
the guy behind the volume.
Hey, whoa. Hey, hey, yeah. I'm making a change today. The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kinda like giving your fame away. What's wrong with you? I sit in a box where the owners do. A boss is a role that I've grown into. I love you to death, but I told you the truth. I can't just be with you and only you. Yeah, I got one virgin, got one in that day, it's the only two, man. How many times have I shown and proved, man? How many nights I've been woke, swerving them potholes, not trying to fuck up the wheels on the road, okay? Funny how life goes, he thought he was sick, now we wiping his nose, okay? Soon as you give him your soul, you blow up and they say you're selling your soul, okay? They want my life exposed, they wanna know about the highs and lows. Well, summer all I did was rest, okay? And New Year's all I did was stretch, okay? And Valentine's Day I had sex, okay? We'll see what's about to happen next, okay? Okay, okay, we'll see what's about to happen next, okay? Okay, okay, we'll see what's about to happen. Hey, hey, we'll see what's about to happen. Hey, we'll see what's about to happen. I'm making a change today. The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kinda like giving your fame away. What's wrong with you? I sit in a box where the owners do. A boss is a role that I've grown into. I love you to death, but I told you the truth.
Bro, those kicks are so stupid.
Royal, stop playing!
Who's that guy?
I say, lion style. From here the slang, you know it's being G. Right now, me I represent for Little Sean. I don't know, say the girl them dash right in a Phoebe land. Hey, Little Sean, play your music. Can you say the girl them love it, man?
Hello.
Oh my god, bro.
Sky turns red, swallowing up each and every being in this town. Hope, hearts, everything is falling down.
Far away in the skyline.
There was a fucking picture, bro. What the fuck?
It's a fight for a paradise. Fight for a life.
Do 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 do. Sorry. Bow bow bow.
Hello. Welcome to my fine establishment. Who talk to my sister? Bow. What do you? Respect my family. My brothers-in-law, get out of here. Ooh. Don't even try without bottle, girl. Hey. Oh, he's stronger.
Alright. Audio should be beautiful. What's going on, people? It's your boy Yadaman back in the building. Another stream for that ass. Oh, fuck, I forgot. Yeah, so I'm playing on my phone as well. But yeah, we got the mandems there in the back doing whatever they be doing. I think, nah, the man them state yourself, innit? State your names, innit? You see me? No. So at first, at the top of the list, we've got crazy. That's crazy. I wouldn't do my intro. I said at first, the first person at the top we got. I'm not trying to do my. I've done. I finished. He wants me to introduce you lot. Tell my man he doesn't need that. I'm doing too much. It's alright. I never. So what? What's your point? So what, you got something against people with speech impediments? Is that what you're telling me? Shut your mouth, Regine. That's a waste man number one right there. That's what it is. Is it? I doubt it. Yeah. Oh, mad thing, man, just don't want to be here more time. So that thing, innit?
No. What did you see? How about that?
I beg to differ.
I don't say that.
I beg to differ.
Right up to her.
Indeed.
Take it.
I don't have to take it.
In man, take it. I swear you got that highest percentage in. You know what? Let me start. That man, you start.
Is it? The man said we want to start. Where you want to start? Huh? Yeah, because all you do is shut. Shee. That's why. Is it? Oh wow, survey. I'm shaking. Cause that's what you care about, innit? That's what I said. You bomber clock. Are you deaf? Are you deaf? Are you deaf? Are you deaf? Shut up, man. If you're gonna piss me off, you can just get the fuck out from now. I don't miss me nothing, man. Little. Oh, this man want me to. This man want me to say stuff to get me cancelled, bruh. Golly. Golly. Keep playing. Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. I'm gonna leave the call, and I'm not gonna come back. I'm gonna watch the stream by myself, and that's gonna be fine as well. Like, it's not a problem. He's moody because you always piss me off with your bullshit, bro. You little fucking kid, bro. Tired of kids, bro. Tired of this little you. Because you want to do the most every day. It's not do the most, bro. We get it, yeah. You're the youngest, you're the little bro, but it's not every day. Do the most. Relax. Just say what I go on. I'm streaming as well. Okay. Oh, whatever, bro. I'm gonna do my thing regardless. You can't stop me from doing my thing.
Oh yeah, Gavin, don't get clapped. Clap to your head. Oh, you got the ball.
You start uni, bro.
No.
I'll be real, it's probably me. I'm in German.
I asked the question.
I mean, it's not really a question.
Alright, we're gonna left in the mandem for a bit to watch this video about N64 stuff. Maybe something N64 will pop up today. Who knows? Find out. Well, I mean, probably not, but you never know.
The transition into 3D was not an immediate, steady success. There were rough patches along the way, in part due to a lack of defined industry standards for 3D game design. But these lack of standards also birthed a huge wave of fresh and creative games that defined the second half of the 90s gaming space. The N64 was Nintendo's big push into this space, and although it hugely underperformed compared to Sony's PlayStation, it was by no means a complete failure. This console, with its odd-looking controller and minimal third-party support, managed to squeeze out some defining classics and hidden gems. And after all, it's the games that make a system good or not. Games like The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, spin-offs like Pokemon Snap, and even third-party titles like DMA Design's Body Harvest are all remembered fondly. And we'll be talking about these games and a few more in this episode. But let's kick off with Diddy Kong Racing. For a spin-off game in the Donkey Kong series, Diddy Kong Racing was a surprisingly well-made competitive racer. But in retrospect, one element of the game seems a bit odd. What makes the game seem somewhat unusual is its roster of characters. Diddy, Banjo, Conker, and even Crunch was a nod to the Donkey Kong Country titles. But the rest of the characters that fleshed out the roster were, well, yeah. One of these characters is the fairly forgettable Bumper the Badger.
My name's Bumper.
Not much information surrounds
Bumper
itself, with his character bio being fairly sparse. Reading, unlike most of his kind, Bumper the Badger prefers speed and thrills to a quiet nocturnal lifestyle. He gets even more worked up than his friends when he realizes how much racing and excitement will be involved in the crusade to get rid of Whizpig. a 2004 public address by Rare was written in character from Conker to promote the release of Conker Live and Reloaded. In this address, Conker makes mention of where characters wound up after the events of Diddy Kong Racing, stating, "It goes without saying that you wouldn't catch me hanging out with any of those freaks these days. Last I heard, at least one of them was in jail anyway." While Conker never mentioned who this character might be, in response to a fan letter in 2012, Rare revealed some more information about what happened to Bumper, and it seems Bumper's thrill-seeking attitude may have been seduced by the cheap thrills of crime. Rare responded to a question from Aaron Pinky H, who asked, "Where do your beloved characters like Cameo and Banjo go when not used in any games for the next decade? Is there some kind of nightclub, or perhaps a prison cell? Or are they dead?" Their response was that all these characters are having adventures far too expensive to adapt into games, with the exception of Bumper the Badger, who is in jail. With that said, Rare did send out a tweet in 2021 stating that Bumper has actually been free for a while now, or at least on parole, and that he is superficially sorry for all the bad things he did. What Bumper did to find himself behind bars remains a mystery, but based on those cold dead eyes, we can only assume the worst. Speaking of causing mischief, Mischief Makers was a much beloved title on the Nintendo 64. While there's a number of games which are known to let players input their age, such as with Dead or Alive most famously, where doing so will adjust the game's jiggle physics, Mischief Makers actually had the option, but having it serve an entirely different purpose. When first starting up the game, it will ask the player for an age between 0 and 99. Most might assume that this age choice is simply referring to the player's age, but it actually uses this input to select the age of the main protagonist, Marina Lightyears. The purpose of this choice isn't very clear during the bulk of the game, but it does have a single effect on one frame of the game's true ending. If the player sets Marina's age to 15 years or younger, her true human form will be physically closer to that of a child, while if her age is set to 16 years or older, her true human form will be closer to that of an adult. It's unclear why the developers would put effort into a feature that only affects a single frame of the game, but there you go. Another cold title was Body Harvest, which came from the team at Rockstar before the team at Rockstar would become known as the team at Rockstar. Everyone over at the then named DMA Design were super enthusiastic about the N64, and most of all, working with Nintendo. The studio's previous publisher, Psygnosis, didn't show much interest in DMA's games, but Nintendo frequently directed them to make major changes to Body Harvest's gameplay and visual style in order to improve its chances on the market. While everyone had a huge amount of respect for each other and wanted an open conversation about how to improve the game, the language barrier between the Japanese publisher and British developer made implementing these changes difficult, as the devs sometimes struggled to understand what Nintendo wanted from them. One developer cited an example where Nintendo told DMA to make the game's graphics more materialistic. DMA's head, David Jones, described their relationship with Nintendo, saying, "It's a very hard relationship because their quality is so high that it's so hard to match the quality of the products they do, and they really want you to focus on making Nintendo products. It's very hard to write games that you're not writing for yourself, which is traditionally what I've done. And basically, we just have to listen to them because we're not as good as they are. Nobody in the world is as good as they are. So we'd be daft to try and say, we think you're wrong. So we just have to work with them and we implement everything that they ask for." The two companies would ultimately drift apart, and DMA became Rockstar North, part of the Rockstar Games label. One more highly respected N64 title not made by Nintendo themselves came from Rare, Blast Corps. It wasn't just things like camera controls that became an issue with the budding 3D developers when producing games for this new console. When developing Blast Corps, the team worked hard to make sure the game didn't face any performance issues as a result of topping out the Nintendo 64's graphical capabilities. So they chose to set a polygon limit on the character models in the game. This limit helped to ensure that gameplay remained smooth. However, while creating the Thunder Fist Robots model, Rare managed to accidentally go over their self-imposed limit. As a means of trying to reduce the amount of polygons the robot would use, the devs simply removed one of the robot's arms, resulting in the character's design changing into something a bit more unique. Few other devs have realized that an easy way to reduce the polygon count is simply by maiming their characters. Pokemon Snap is arguably one of the franchise's most popular spin-off titles, taking away the typical enslavement. While the player might not take on an active role of pummeling Pokemon, or rather commanding other Pokemon to do so, they're given a variety of tools which can either elevate the creature's mood, or frankly, piss them off. It's your mission to take great photos, but in doing so, Nintendo gave the player an option of throwing a pester ball at Pokemon to spur on some more irritated expressions or behaviors. While this is of course a work of fiction, the idea of hurling noxious purple gas with the sole intent of pestering the creatures whilst they enjoy their natural habitat does seem a little unusual for the Pokemon series. As a result, when it came time for the game's sequel, these balls were removed, as well as the apple, which was replaced with a fluff root. New Pokemon Snap's director, Haruki Suzaki, stated, "The Pester Ball was an important element to bring out Pokemon's reaction in the Nintendo 64 Pokemon Snap, so we decided to add the role of the Pester Ball to the fluff fruit in new Pokemon Snap. Even though fluff fruit doesn't hurt when it hits a Pokemon, it makes sense that some Pokemon don't like being hit by fluff fruit, so we designed the item to leave it up to players whether they place it near a Pokemon or throw it at a Pokemon." So it seems developers were still all for pissing Pokemon off a bit, but they prefer being a bit more tactful about it. As we mentioned at the start of this video, the N64 was a new adventure for Nintendo, and having to start developing games in 3D was no small task. Plenty of new complications come along with the addition of a third dimension, and so it was important during development to have a greater understanding of what mistakes have been made. What's interesting, however, is that a debugging tool, which shows more information on why a game has crashed or encountered an error, is actually still present in the final retail copy of Zelda. After the game crashes for whatever reason, inputting a series of button combinations will result in information being thrown up on screen about the game and the environment that was present at the time of crashing. An odd curiosity can be seen from Ocarina's debug menu, however, where the game's version information doesn't simply contain the version information, but also an additional message of seemingly no purpose. I love you. I mean, we aren't complaining about being told that at least something in the world loves us, but we didn't exactly think it would be a copy of Ocarina of Time that'd show us more love than our parents did.
I mean,
Did you
that's
also know that
crazy.
the Pokemon Lugia was created after a binge of drugs and alcohol, or that there's a lost Pokemon movie about a literal dinosaur? For a whole hour of Pokemon facts, check out the video on screen. My memories of the N64 are rather vague, but I certainly did enjoy the console quite a bit. I would say probably one of my favorite games was Rakuga Kids. I, for some reason, absolutely adored it.
Alrighty. So, what I'm gonna do, let's see if this plays. Still got an hour left, no doubt. I'm gonna be back then. I'm going to play get some music playing. So predictions, reaction, Markiplier? No. I don't know what to do for an hour. I mean, I know what to do for an hour. Oh yeah, I was gonna fix this, wasn't I? Alright, let me sort this out real quick. happened. That's weird. Bruh. Don't know what to do for an hour. I never been with it, buddy. Take a left and a right at that. Let's see what we got on the recommended, yeah. Oh, we got Windjammers too.